Good questions. We all need to be outside enjoying the blizzard that's happening.
Yeah.
One up.
Stay here. There's no place else to go.
Gentlemen, and both of you have said that the resumption of, and full production of offshore drilling in terms of energy production is something that you want to see and that could be occurring as we make the other kinds of adjustments that we have to make this industry safer and our role as a government stronger. And one of the key recommendations that the Commission made is that the federal oil and gas regulators that have been underfunded, I think they're getting less now than they did 20 years ago, that we create a dedicated funding stream for oil and gas fees to fund this. So it's well-trained, professional, a level of an installation of independence. And yet, as we're talking about this and the critical need to deal with the production issue that has come up consistently here by my colleagues, we're also talking about reductions to 2006 levels, to 2008 levels, based on the resolutions that we're dealing with on the floor. So, at some point, this full production restoration idea and concept that you support as commissioners, with the backdrop of not ever meeting the Commission report in terms of providing a robust oversight regulatory function for government that's independent, how do you reconcile that one opinion with the lack of resources on the other end? If any comment would be fine.
Well, it's our recommendation that, like is the case with most other industries, industries who don't have this additional characteristic of being our tenants, we expect the airline industry, the telecommunications industry, across the board virtually, to pay for their own regulation. They are self-funded regulations. We did not see any compelling reason why that should not be true of this industry. So that would be our basic recommendation. Now, it would take Congress action if, for instance, there were as there is now for the oil liability fund, there's a fee attached to each barrel of oil, I believe, that's both imported as well as domestically produced, which goes into that fund. Maybe we need to have a supplemental stream to go into a fund for the regulation of the industry, so that we can assure to the industry that we will have a competent, sustained ability to assure
Senator,
safety and environmental.
On my question, if I may, you see a linkage and not an either-or proposition.
I mean, either or.
Either you have the regulatory capacity and the resources to deal with the demand for full production, and if that linkage doesn't occur, is it an either-or proposition?
No,
can you have one without the other?
Well, the answer is I don't think it's in the interest of the American people not to have adequate standards. Again, in part because of we've just seen what the consequences are to a lot of very innocent people, and we have seen what the consequences are to an important piece of real estate that belongs to all the people of America.
Yeah, I think the question is reducing interiors levels to 2006, 2008 that directly impact your recommendation in terms of building up the resource capacity and the overall capacity of regulators and oversight. That I think, does not help the safety demands for offshore drilling. That's also part of the recommendations.
No, sir. We are quite clear that the quality of regulation has been insufficient, that an industry which did not used to be a high-risk industry, as it has proceeded so heavily into deep water, has become that. The industry itself needs to take the steps that are suggested by this catastrophe, but so does government. Other governments have done so after their own catastrophes, We mentioned the United Kingdom and Norway, which responded to very severe accidents that they had by separating the revenue-generating function from the regulatory function and significantly improving the quality of the regulator. Senator Graham mentioned that in the United Kingdom, the oil and gas industry lobbies for more appropriations for the regulator because they recognize that quality in the regulator, as did Mr. Tillerson, the chairman of ExxonMobil, in his testimony before us, and Mr. Odom, the chairman or president of Shell USA. Both of them mentioned the quality of regulation as essential to the quality of industrial activity. That's all we're really suggesting. So to try to save money at BOEMRE at this point, having seen that budget go down 20% over the last 20 years as the oil and gas production in the Gulf went up 300%, is really penny wise and pound foolish.
Yep, time of the gentleman has expired. Mr. McClintock.